Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Maya and I hope you will stick around. As you can see, today I am going to take on the task of organizing the pantry. Every time I opened it, I felt super overwhelmed just because there's just so much in there. So I finally decided I gotta do this. So I started by taking every single thing out of there. I wanted to make sure that for one, I could clean, of course, but for two, get those empty packages out, as you can see, or toss out things that may be expired. I try to be pretty good about not letting things expire and using things up. However, when you do have a pantry, for one, that's kind of on the smaller side like this, and for two, that's just jam-packed with stuff, it can be hard to see what all you have and even, forget what you bought. So organizing was a top priority for me for that reason, and just, of course, to not feel overwhelmed every time I opened the pantry. My husband works out, so he has lots of different protein powders and who knows what else. So parece farmacia, so I definitely wanted to do something about that. It's just, in my opinion, an eyesore just to see a bunch of stuff piled somewhere. So I definitely wanted to figure out a way that I could organize it better. So once everything was out, I was actually pretty surprised at how it looked. I anticipated it to be a lot more messy, honestly, but it was just kind of more like crumbs and things like that, but definitely needed a cleaning. We actually didn't paint the inside of the pantry. I think we forgot, so that's the old paint color and there's some chips and stuff, but I figure that'll be for a later time. But you can just see how much stuff was packed in there, so definitely was time for a cleaning and definitely needed to organize the stuff. So any advice that I could give if you wanted to take on this project of organizing your pantry is to be realistic with yourself, and get rid of things again that are expired that you're not going to eat. And I started to put things into categories just so I could kind of see what all I had. That way I could better organize things by category, and it'd be easier to find things and stuff like that. So once I did that, I went ahead and put everything back in, and I highly recommend this little Ninja. It is so awesome to blend up things for my baby, like his food and stuff. It's amazing and it works so quick. And anyway, I just wanted to shout that out. But I put things back because I wanted to obviously go to the store to get some organizational things, but I didn't want to leave this big mess on the counter. It overwhelms me to see a bunch of stuff like that, so I wanted to get everything back in there. And again, this was another way for me to kind of categorize things and see what all I had. That way I knew what all I was going to need. Sorry that you have been stuck looking at my split dead ends a lot of this video. The space between the wall and the pantry is not very big, so the camera was a little close, but anyway, I wanted to apologize. I know I need a haircut. I'll get to that eventually. So once everything was back in, to me, it looks better, but definitely could be even better. So I went ahead and measured the shelves so that I knew what size baskets and stuff I could get away with. And then I went ahead and took a picture so that when I was at the store, I could kind of, remember what all I have and what kind of containers and stuff I wanted to put them in. So I highly recommend doing that or taking a video. I, of course, needed to then clean after all of that stuff was on the counter. It left, a little mess there. So needed to clean that before I could head out to the store. So off to the store I went, and I ended up getting all of my organizational stuff from TJ Maxx. My TJ Maxx here in town is TJ Maxx / Home Goods, so they usually have a pretty wide variety of baskets and organizational things, and so I was really lucky to have found things that matched and stuff like that, not kind of one-off things. I wanted things that would obviously look cohesive and aesthetic and stuff like that, but also be very functional. So like I said, I went to TJ Maxx and I picked up these containers. You can see I got 2 of the 2.8 quarts. I got 1 of the 3.7 quart. And then I got 5 of the 2.7 quart. And again, I chose the sizes based off of what I knew I had at home and the things that I knew I would actually continue to repurchase. I just think the biggest thing you want to do is keep it realistic, because if you're buying all these things, for example, you're buying a container for that one random item that you bought for that one random recipe that you tried from Pinterest, for example, it's just not something that you're going to continue to purchase, and therefore that container is not going to be continued to be used. So I wanted to make sure to buy things just for the things that I knew with certainty that I would continue to buy, and therefore continue to refill those containers. So here you can see I'm taking off the price tag, getting everything off, ready to wash. And this is always kind of frustrating, but at the same time it's kind of almost like a test of patience for me. I don't know what it is, but it's kind of like a challenge. So I like to take each and every one off and just try to get them all off completely without leaving anything behind. And so anyway, I went ahead and got all of that off and wanted to make sure to, like I said, wash all of this, because you never know when people are touching things in the store or whatever. So got those all nice and washed, and then set those aside to let them dry, so that I could obviously put in all of the stuff. So I went ahead and moved on to other chores around the house while I let all of these dry, but once they were dry, I went ahead and started to put all of the stuff into the containers. You can see there that my phone is propped up, and I actually filmed a reel of this, so if you're interested, you can watch my reel on my Instagram, which is linked down below, but that's why my phone is there. But I have to say, guys, I love these little containers. They're so easy to use. You just press the button and the lid pops off. Get out your ingredients and then pop the lid back on and press the button, and it's nice and sealed tightly. Even my husband was, impressed with these, so that is always a good sign. So I went ahead and got all of my ingredients into their containers, and it was time to get them back into the pantry and organize them and rearrange them in a way that again was functional and realistic for my family and myself, and how we use things. So it was nice to get rid of a bunch of packaging that, tends to take up space and stuff like that. And again, this just looks so much better, and it's nice to see how much you have left. So grocery shopping, I think in that way becomes easier because you know exactly what you need to get and how much of what you need to get. So I think this will be super helpful for me in that way. And then again, it was time to rearrange them, and I wanted to put them in a way that was easy for me to access, and of course my husband whenever he needs to grab anything as well. Here is the final result. I absolutely love how it looks. To me, it looks a million times better. I wish I would have done this sooner. I always say it's not perfect, but it's better, and that is the goal. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you on the next one.